I intentionally didn't want to say anything. In fact, I intentionally kept mute about this saga, this NFF saga about the money given to them by FIFA and the stadium that they built or stadium they didn't build. A lot of people have said, given their opinion, reacted to how very, very shameless these people's conduct have been, how they have succeeded in shaming Nigeria in front of the whole world. Now, I'm not even going to talk about whether or not they built the stadium, because we know that FIFA released $2.4 million for two stadiums to be built in Nigeria, one in the north and one in the south. And they chose Delta State for the one that is going to be in the south, right? We are still going to come to that. But now I want to talk about the one they chose, the one that should be built in the north, which is this picture you're seeing, this slide you're seeing above. Now, you are supposed to build a stadium in the north. Like I said, I'm not going to talk about whether or not they built, how they lavished money, how they misused or mismanaged the money. My point is, of all places to build a stadium, you chose the Northwest, knowing the security concerns in the Northwest. Of all the states in the Northwest, let's say you have to take it to the Northwest. Of all the states in the Northwest, I think the most developed northern state in Nigeria is Kano State. The best northern state in terms of commerce, agriculture, business, everything you can think of, even education, I think Kano State. And it is the most secure state in the whole of Northwest. You left Kano State and you chose Kebbi State to go and build this stadium. You chose Kebbi State. Okay. Now you chose Kebbi State. Does it mean that in the capital of Kebbi State, which is Birnin Kebbi, you don't have any area that is remotely close to civilization? You chose this desert. I'm not sure if you guys are seeing what I'm saying. You chose to build a stadium in the middle of nowhere. Maybe these guys already, this thing was all pre-thought, it was premeditated. You built this stadium in the middle of nowhere because you know that people will not even want to go there to go and verify whether the stadium was built or not. That is what I am thinking. That is my own point of view. Right? You chose to build it in Kebbi State, and Kebbi State has a capital called Birnin Kebbi, and you cannot tell me that Birnin Kebbi, I've not been there, yes, but you cannot tell me that Birnin Kebbi is far from civilization. Look at the location, look at the locality, look at the environment they chose to site this stadium. In the desert, in the middle of nowhere, far from civilization. Are you guys thinking what I'm thinking? I want you guys to see it from my own point. Of all the places you could build this stadium in Kebbi State, Kebbi State has about how many? More than 5 million people. So these 5 million people, do they all live in the desert? You didn't see where you can site this stadium in the capital city. It is somewhere that is far from civilization, in the desert, in the middle of nowhere. These things is not ordinary. Something is very, very fishy about this whole thing. I'm not talking about the money they spent, yes. Choosing to site this stadium here is all shades of red flag.